1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hey, you Grateful Dead fans. There's two things I've always wondered about. The first one is, how did Jerry get so good between 69 and 70? Because he got really good in that span of time. Somewhere after Oxa or Oxa, however you prefer, and the second live album, Skull and Roses to most of you. And in the middle, of course, was American Beauty and Working Man's. And he really began his close collaboration with Hunter in those years. He was also moving away from the Gibsons over to the Fender Strat. And Bear came back to mix the band. And of course, Woodstock was in there, and Altamont too, for that matter. He was playing with Crosby, Stills and Nash and a Starship. This is when he's doing a lot of pedal steel. Maybe that had something to do with it. He does the Canadian trip, you know, the Festival Express thing. In other words, he's exposed to a lot of musicians, a lot of different styles and tastes. He's with these people there, showing them stuff. He's hearing things, you know. They owe a lot of money to Warner Brothers at the time. I don't know what that's got to do with the guitar. Lenny Hart rips off the band. They get busted in January of 70. New Orleans, of course, Bourbon Street. Hunter moves in with them, and they start collaborating really closely. Because you're about to hear American Beauty and Working Man's, of course. That country sound of rock and roll is kind of coming in there. I mean, the guy had a guitar around his neck all day. That had to be it too, you know, all day. In my opinion, Jerry came out of this raw blues sound that he had, you know, spacey but raw spacey. So his sound changes. He starts playing more maturely, if you know what I mean, into a more refined, closer to what he ultimately became than at the beginning. So what was that all about? I can't stay much longer, Linda. The sun is getting high. I can't help you with your trouble if you won't help with mine. I gotta get down. I gotta get down. Gotta get down to the mine. The other thing I've always wondered about is the relationship between Jerry and Bob. Now, I guess I came at it expecting, you know, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or Abbott and Costello for that sometimes. It sounded funny. Or, you know, McNeil Lair, or, you know, maybe even Lone Ranger and Tonto. That may be closer to what it was. But I never saw, and I saw them often, I never saw Jerry and Bob kind of be buddies. You know, they weren't like asshole buddies ever. And I never saw any affection on stage. You know, they weren't partners, buds. You know, I never got that feel, and I was surprised by that, because I'd expect those guys to have a very tight, close relationship. Maybe they did. I mean, I wasn't there, but I mean, you can pull Jerry's bio down by Jackson and read it. You don't, you know, it's not him and Bob hanging out and the great time they had out there, just doing this or that. Take any of these books down and read them from cover to cover. You don't just see that. So Of course, Jerry tried to have Bob fired there way back when. You know, we won't talk about that, but that was a long time ago. And from what I could see on stage, or you know, and I saw him off the stage too sometimes, but I never saw, you know, what I was expecting. And maybe I was wrong to expect it, and you know, you just take it the way it is. But I don't think those guys were that tight. You know, personally, you know, buddy, you know, were they best friends? And I don't. They weren't antagonistic toward each other. Certainly, I mean, I'm sure they got along great. You know, everybody's got their day, but I mean, I never saw what I was expecting. You know what I mean? Did you see the same thing?
Keep me up just one more night. You know, little Ben clock says quarter to 8. You kept me up till 4. I gotta get down. I gotta get down. Can't work no more.
So, you know, if I had a chance to talk to Bob, that's what I'd want to talk to him about. I'd ask him, you know, man, what was that all about? Tell me all about those times. And, you know, even more than how do you play this lick or that, I'd want to know, what about you two guys? You know, what was that? Tell me about that. I don't know. Be interesting, I think.
Can I go, buddy? Can I go down? Make a shift down the mine. That's where we really spend our time. Make good money, $5 a day. Maybe more when I move away. A lot of poor man got the Cumberland blues. Just to pay